date of birth, Rick?
9/24/32.
What'd your dad do for a living, Rick?
He was a station agent in Mayville on the Pennsylvania Railroad.
Really?
For, I think he was in there, he was over about 50 years, I think.
What brought him to this area here?
Money, I guess. Higher pay, I guess. They used to move all over the division.
Was he always a railroad guy?
And he went to telegraph operating for the BRMP Railroad.
Yeah.
And then he got hooked up with a Pensy.
Yeah. So as the station agent, because not everybody's going to remember, what did they do?
Took care of the Pennsylvania Railroad business in Mayville.
And what did your mom do for a living?
No, she took care of seven kids.
Oh my golly. 7 children.
She was a jewel too.
So where did you live? Where was Mayville?
Mainly, I lived out in the country out there between Mayville and Westfield.
And do you remember December 7th, 1941?
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
I know what it was, I know what it is, but I didn't make any big deal of it, I guess, because I was only not very old then.
Did you have any of your siblings go into the war?
My brother, he went in the
What service?
Army.
Army?
Yeah, he drafted.
Did he go across to Europe at all?
Europe, yeah.
Did he talk about it at all?
Not much. Well, 99% of them came back wanting their own life back. They didn't want to be talking about that stuff.
So you're living up in Mayville. Do you remember going through rations and anything like that?
Oh yeah, I remember that stuff. And collecting scrap metal and old keys and collecting things, you know, for the war effort. But and some rationing. Of course, my mother took care of that, you know, more or less. She worked around it, so.
You went to Mayville High School.
Yes.
Did you graduate?
Yes.
What year?
50.
So you graduated in 1950, and do you remember getting a letter from Uncle Sam saying greetings?
No.
No?
No, I didn't get that till I was in boot camp.
Okay.
And I got it then, but I didn't. It was too late for Uncle Sam then.
So you enlisted?
Yeah.
And what service did you enlist
Navy.
in? Navy? And where did you go to boot camp?
Bainbridge, Maryland.
What were they training you for?
Well, just military business.
Okay.
More or less, you know, marching and small arms and all kinds of things that, you know, that refer to anything on shipboard, I guess.
And as a result of that, did you fly at all, or were you just on the ground?
Once I flew.
Did you? Tell me about it.
Well, not much I can tell. I just had to go and load on an airplane and go to Florida. And that was it. That was the one time I flew something. I think it was Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I went to school down there.
And school for what?
For aviation mechanic. And then from there I went to Memphis, Tennessee, same thing. And from there I went on duty in Texas. Oh. Well, I don't know if I can pronounce it, but it's CABINESS
Okay.
field.
What airplanes were you working
Well, they were F-6F Hellcats. Mainly pilots for these F-6F.
Mm-hmm.
They were, they hadn't come into the jet age yet.
What'd you do with your downtime when you had quiet time? Did you go off base and?
Not to Corpus Christi. That's pretty close to that base anyhow.
Right.
And we'd go in there and raise a little hell, you know, drink a little and fool around. And,
You never did that, did you?
no.
You didn't raise any hell or fool around?
No, I wouldn't do stuff like that. Then we went to Mexico a couple of times and
That's where you did your fooling.
looked around down there and fooled around.
Yeah.
Were you ever interested in going across to Korea?
No,
No?
I never. Well, I don't know. I signed up for a ship to going over there, but they didn't call me for that job, so I didn't go.
You went in 1950 and then came out when?
Well, must have been 53. I don't know, and it was not too long after they got done farting around overseas here. Wasn't too long after that they told us that either re-enlist or move, get out, and I'll get out. Oh, what they did, I will come back to MRC.
Ah,
Yeah, I was working there when I left, and I came back there to, after I got out.
do you ever think about the Korean War and what it meant to you?
No, never thought much about it. Didn't even never heard of it before I went in the service, I don't think.
So all you heard about was probably General MacArthur.
Well, I heard about him, and I shouldn't say such things, but I think he was probably one of the worst from anything I heard of a commanding officer well, that's the way my feelings are, and I've seen it on television and different documentaries, and he was rotten. But that's my opinion of him.
Did you have any feeling or any sense when President Truman fired him?
No, I think Truman done a good job, but he should have done it quicker. Well, MacArthur wanted to send everybody to China, invade China. No, that's not my way of doing things.
You know, MacArthur.
You defend yourself or your friends, and then you leave. In my opinion, he was not much good for anything. So,
What rank did you have in the Navy, sir?
I was, I don't know what you'd call it, airman.
Well, this has been great, Rick. I really appreciate you stopping by and talking a little bit about your
Well, you
Korean
didn't
experience.
find out very much.
That, and we salute you for that. You didn't have to get in. You could have gotten. I think it's interesting that you got your draft letter, when you were in boot camp.
Yeah, that's when I got it. But I was already in uniform then, so it didn't make any difference.